reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one as well. If anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, hand over your cloak as well. Should anyone press you into service for 1 mile, go for 2 miles. Give to the one who asks of you. Do not turn your back on one who wants to borrow. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your heavenly Father. For he makes his sun rise on the bad and the good, and causes rain to fall on the just and the unjust. If you love those who love you, what recompense will you have? Do not the tax collectors do the same? If you greet your brothers only, what is unusual about that? Do not the pagans do the same? So be perfect, as your heavenly Father is perfect." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. So Jesus begins, he says to his disciples, he's making a statement. He's going beyond now the law of Moses. He's breathing life into it. So when he speaks, his audience is listening. You have heard it say, but I say to you, I'm making now a declarative statement. Listen to what I'm saying. And he says, you've heard it was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Well, in the years, hundreds of years before the birth of Jesus, even thousands, in some societies, if someone from a clan was found in fault, for instance, if he had murdered somebody, you could kill 6 or 7 clan members in retribution. There was a great philosopher who lived about 1,000 years before Christ who said, this doesn't make sense. Morally, this is incompatible with what we as people who call ourselves civilized should be doing. Instead of killing 7 or 8 for the fault of one, let's just take the life of the one who committed the crime. And so that's where the understanding and the saying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth comes in. You see? Now, the rest I want to explain. But I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes you on the cheek, turn the other one as well. In the time of Jesus, a Roman citizen was not allowed to fight with a Jew. It was incompatible. It was seen as beneath yourself. So if you wanted to insult somebody, you'd slap him in the face. But you didn't slap him with your left hand because your left hand was for menial tasks. You'd strike him with your right hand, but because you were a Roman citizen and the other guy was not, you didn't use the palm of your hand to slap him. You slap him with your backside. Bam! You'd sever right on the cheek, on the right cheek. And what Jesus says is this, when someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other one as well. Well, he's not saying here that you should become a doormat. Because if you turn the other cheek, it's very hard to strike somebody this way, quickly. So what Jesus is saying is, turn quickly to show them that you're a bigger person than they are. That can be somewhat intimidating to somebody who's trying to strike you if you turn the other cheek. Let me give you an example of that beautiful story about Mother Teresa, who one day had gone to get bread for her orphans. And she often went to the same baker. So she went to this baker this day, and he was fed up, seeing Mother Teresa come in begging for bread. So he spit in her face. So Mother Teresa looked at him and says, "Thank you for the spit. Now, could I have bread?" And that's what Jesus means by this saying, offer the other cheek. In other words, even though people intimidate you, be quick to change the direction of the feeling. So, thank you for the spit. Now I want bread. And of course, the guy gave her bread. If anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, every citizen had at least 2 tunics, even the poorest of the poor. So Jesus is saying, if anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, hand over your cloak as well. But you only had one cloak. Especially poor people never had more than one cloak. So Jesus is saying, it's not about the tunic, offer the cloak as well. Should anyone press you into service for a mile? So any Roman citizen could demand of a non-Roman to service him for at least 1 mile. So to carry articles, to go do an errand at least 1 mile. That was part of what was demanded according to the law. But Jesus says, don't only go 1 mile, go a 2nd mile. Show them that you're better than the law. So Jesus breathes into the law. He gives the law a whole new significance. Be bigger than the law. Now, for us, that means that we need wisdom. Not the wisdom of the world, but the wisdom of Christ crucified. Because so oftentimes in our day and age, we look around us and everything seems to be so negative, and there's so much anger, and there's so much violence. And it's so easy for us to fall into the same type of trap. The other day I was coming out of my driveway, and when I come out of my driveway, I'm right on Front Street in Exeter. There's cars coming from my left, from my right. Also Linden Street, which is a little bit of an angle, and then from a street coming directly in front of the driveway. So there are 4 different directions that cars can be coming up, plus myself, which is a 5th. So I'm watching this guy who had the right of way, but there was so much traffic, he was willing to give the guy who was coming off Linden Street, which is very difficult, to make a left turn. But there was a woman behind him. She opened her window and she started cursing. I won't even use the words. I wouldn't. Giving him the finger, blowing the horn. And what she did is she passed him. She pressed the gas past him. And as she's going, she's yelling these obscenities. And I thought to myself, that's the type of culture oftentimes that we live in. There's no patience. Now, was the guy right in giving them the right of way? Maybe it wasn't the best thing to do at that particular time because of the amount of traffic. But nonetheless, the reactions that we get from our civilized society is sometimes repugnant. Really is. I sat in my car and thought to myself, boy, look at how low we've come. Just to be able to get ahead. And in the long run, this guy who had been kind followed this woman, and he was right behind her, going right as I followed them. They went right into Exeter Center. All she was doing is parking on the side of the street to maybe go run an errand, I assume. But Christianity calls us to something greater. It's like Mother Teresa. She was called to something greater. She could have walked away from the spit. She could have cursed. She could have gotten angry. But no, she was there for a greater mission. A mission of love. Now, we all have a divided heart. I do and you do. It can be very difficult at times to live out this gospel. But yet, if you remember the beginning of the gospel a few weeks ago, Jesus calls us to be what? Light for the world, salt for the earth, make the world taste good. He says, whatever in your life which is not honorable, cut it out. If it be anger, if it be lust, if it be greed, what is it in your life that needs to be cut out? Let's do it. Otherwise, we fail to glorify the Father. So as I said at the beginning of Mass, how do we become perfect? Well, it's 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. So it's little acts of kindness. You know, we may think that this is too big for me to swallow. I can't look at all this and ever be perfect, but we can. We can by doing one kindness at a time. Whether it be in a supermarket, whether it be on the road driving, whether it be in an airport terminal, whatever it is, we can produce and create an atmosphere of kindness that can diffuse violent, angry situations. We all have that opportunity. So let's take it. Otherwise, Jesus may be telling you and me that unless our salt gives taste to the world, it is good for nothing but to be trampled underfoot. Wouldn't that be a horrible thing to hear as Christians who delight in the beauty and the power of a God? So yeah, turn the other cheek, give your cloak, go the extra mile. After all, we are different.